Logitech G, Mountain Dew Leaf, Xfinity, and ESEA.
And just like that, we wrap up our third map of the night, one taking us to the first overtime of the season. So luckily enough, we got to grab that in the first night here. Either way, guys, Renegades and Luminosity having squared off on one of two maps so far. How are we feeling about these two teams?
That was a very messy series, I'd say, or a very messy match. Like, it's a very back and forth game. You know, both teams, as Jason said, could have won it in regulation, and neither team did play well, I'd say. It was like the team who made the least mistake ended up winning, right, and it could have gone both ways.
Yeah, actually, I'm kind of disappointed in how Luminosity played, because a lot of the mistakes we see them make, especially on their T side, were very just fundamental errors. Like, we saw them trying to take bomb sites without necessarily using all the utility they should have, or just having very staggered pushes, which is, you know, what we talked about in the pre-match, is the fact that Luminosity have actually, you know, escaped the fact that they had to make multiple roster changes and so on. So you would expect them to kind of have this stuff down. As for Renegades, you might give them a bit more leeway because they're bringing in Jacob just before the season starts. So we might see a couple of more issues there in terms of how he synergizes with the rest of the team. But, you know, on that other side of it, I think Jacob and JKS actually made up to be a pretty good duo on that B bomb site. We saw it on multiple occasions. So yeah, kind of disappointed in Luminosity what they had to bring. They kind of had to fight back to actually make it to OT, even though they did have match point in the end. And Nifty did kind of save the Renegades in that scenario.
Nifty finding that 4K earlier on was really well done on his end. I mean, because we were that close to sending that one into the GGs, and you know we find ourselves in overtime. But really and truly, JKM though, as a showing here within the Renegades. Pimp, how are we feeling about this?
I mean, it was a great debut for him. It could have gone way worse than it did. He was putting up the frags, he was putting up the numbers, he was being impactful in a few rounds as well. So overall, like a great debut for him. And I think it's very important for a player like him, especially coming from Europe. I tried myself, you know, going from one country or one continent to another to play Counter-Strike and live Counter-Strike. Whatever that's going to be for us, a certain amount of period or full time, we're yet to see, right? But it's good for him to get a great start into this and get a great feeling for it. Also for the Renegades teams, you know, because they probably don't know how long he'll be part of their team, so they need to believe from the get-go that they can qualify for the playoffs with a guy like Jacob on the team. And judging from this match, he did well.
Yeah, no, I was actually pleasantly surprised by how well he delivered for it being his first match. I talked about how, you know, there could be questions as to how well he synergized with the rest of the team. Again, that didn't really seem to be a big of an issue, and he did have, you know, multiple rounds where he was actually, you know, the saving grace for Renegades, which has to give, you know, instill a lot of confidence in him as well. And, you know, with the kind of road to this Renegades team he has had, with, you know, obviously not being necessarily, you know, a road of glory, it's just been an up and down roller coaster. That really has to feel good and just make sure that he feels really nicely going into the next, or the remaining part of the season, or just the next map.
Well, the last time these two teams had squared off in cash before tonight was for the Katowice qualifier, where NAF was still in the lineup. Yeah. So JKM having to come in and fill that void, big enough shoes on its own. You know, we know NAF to be a fragger. This guy has been all about it. You know, he's been all over the place. But I guess I have to ask, though, JKM, that is potentially a long-term solution. I mean, we did see them sort of falter here. It wasn't as in the bag as they wanted it to be. It was 16-11 before with NAF.
I mean, it's a little bit too early to judge. I think Jacob is a great stand-in, and I think the thing for Renegades and Jacob is that we talked about how Jacob needs to revive his career, right? So it's a great fit. He comes in fully motivated. He's willing to sacrifice everything to go to America and prove that he can still be a great player, and that's what Renegade needs right now. Whatever they are going to settle on Jacob, find something else or something even third, you know, we don't know that. That's only something that's going in within the team. What's good for them is they got a guy who's motivated right here, right now to do well, and that's what they need in these matches. That's what they need at the Star Series tournament that's coming up, and that's what they need at IM Katowice, which is coming in 2 weeks, I believe.
Yeah, and just kind of speaking to the motivation of him, that's one of the fall downs, honestly. He had probably, like, in the periods where we saw him kind of, you know, not being at the top anymore after, you know, especially Cluj-Napoca, is the fact that, you know, when you feel like you succeed, actually, like, pushing yourself to continuously put in the same amount of effort and work is extremely tough to do. And I think now we see Jacob that's kind of revitalized and the understanding of the situation he is in. So, like, right before he came over, I think it was closing in on 100 hours over the last 2 weeks. There's just much more than what he's been laying out, you know, in the past years. So I think that's, you know, a sign of good things to come for them.
Which is an interesting idea, right? So I've had the privilege to speak with AZK before, and he said, you know, coming back into CSGO, he kind of completely immersed himself. He went on to watch all of the tournaments in the past 2 weeks that he could, you know, kind of gather together and try to catch up with the meta. But I think that's a pretty difficult and tall task to accomplish.
Yeah, it's differs from player to player. I, for an example, would never do that. You know, I play more by feeling. I wouldn't watch a demo and like try to catch up on the meta by watching myself doing it. I would play the game until I felt, you know, I'm confident. I feel what's going on again. And sometimes that takes time. You know, it can take a week, it can take a month, depends on how long you've been out. And for a guy like Jakim, we talked about it. You know, it's been a time since you played on this level. Let's not fool ourselves. Renegades is not a top 10 team in the world, but they're up there. They're decent and they have the potential for it. So as we said, like it's a great fit for him to get back into winning ways, get back into getting confident in the game, and maybe catching up with the lost meta that he lost the last 2 years, literally not playing on a top 10 team.
Being, what they say, if you don't use it, you lose it. Or maybe I just say that. Who knows? Something like that along those lines. Either way, we do wrap up Cash. We're going to be jumping over into Cobblestone. That's going to be our second map up here. And you kind of have to think, too, going into overtime, could it potentially have drained either one of these teams?
For sure. I think Cobblestone is a problem, though, more so for Renegades than it is for Luminosity, because Cobblestone is one of those maps where if you don't have synergy, if you don't have team play, it can easily get very rough on you in terms of rotation, in terms of the way you play, both on the CT side, but also on the T side. And as we said, like they brought in Jakim 2 days ago, 3 days ago. We don't know how much practice they exactly have with him, and if they even played Cobble with him, maybe a few times, right? But it's going to be tough for him to feel confident on that map. So he has to get bailed out basically by his aim and by his feeling. That's where we get to see like what is he actually made of now. Is he that good yet, or will he still need some more time?
Yeah, I think for me, I'm worried about their CT side really, especially because of what he mentions with rotations and everything, and being on board with what's going on around you, which is definitely not something you can expect Jacob to have within this roster as of right now. On the T side, I think it'd be slightly easier to implement him, not necessarily just putting him in Nav's old roles, but you can ease him into it. If it's just him following along the rest of the herd, you know, towards the bomb site, he can do that perfectly fine and just focus on, you know, aiming at heads. That shouldn't be a problem. But when CT part comes into play, that's going to be a lot tougher task.
A tall task, indeed. I mean, Cobblestone is a map that could potentially turn chaotic at any second, right? I mean, that's really the storyline that could be said across the board. But when it comes to these retakes on the CT side, or even the holds over towards the Beast site, could be a little bit more spicy on the Renegades end.
For sure, and I think Cobblestone is one of those maps, especially after seeing the first cache, you know, which wasn't pretty for either team. It can get real messy real quick if they don't get the S together, right? So they need to play better. I can't say the word apparently. So they need to play better. They need to do better. They need to play more as a team. And as you said, we're pretty disappointed in LG because this is one of the teams that didn't make any roster changes. This is one of the teams that were boot camping a lot before the Pro League finals. They've been playing together for a long time. They know each other in and out. At least they should be. So they should be making those silly mistakes. They should be able to take advantage of the fact J-Game got flown into Renegades only a few days ago.
Well, you know, we could talk a bit about firepower. You know, we talked a little bit about the void that NAF left in this lineup. But speaking more over to the Luminosity side, who's really sticking out for you guys is the sort of heavy hitter. Who's the guy that's coming to the plate for them? Who's really making the plays?
Well, I mean, I think we kind of got a bit of a taste to that in the first game as well. Yell. He was, for the better part of the last season, one of the heavy hitters for Luminosity, continues to be so. I was kind of let down by PKL. He had a not up to standard kind of performance from him in the first match. I'm expecting that to turn around going into Cobble. And then also someone who kind of stuck their neck out more so than I would have expected was Nekis. Jason mentioned it multiple times that he would be in a situation where it doesn't necessarily always convert into round wins, but he's making it a possibility at least for Luminosity in a lot of scenarios, which is obviously very, very important for them. And then even though he had a fairly decent game, Cello, I think he's being touted as one of the biggest talents coming from Brazil, who's not on SK, right? Which is no small feat. So for him to get going as well, I think that could be really interesting.
And again, we are just about to kick off our second map here between these two teams. Again, it's going to be Cobblestone. We are waiting on JKS, who's taking his time enjoying the server for whatever reason that he may have. I could say something like, hey, go tweet at him, tell him to join the server, but don't do that. I didn't say that. You said that.
I mean, you know, I do a pretty good Stunner impression. And ventriloquism, you know, I'm a multi-talented guy, so.
It could be all sorts of reasons, though. Like, if he has to pee, the man has to pee, right? So.
It is what it is.
And it could take,
you know, it's one of the most profound sayings I've ever heard. It is what it is, right?
You use that a lot.
Yeah, I know. So check this out, guys. We're about to jump into the game, but I have to ask you, do you stick by your prediction?
Well, I can't, right?
Well,
I lost it already. So
2-0 at this point is pretty hard.
Yeah, but I think Luminosity is going to win this map. At least I hope so. So at least Moses won't mock me too much. But I hope for 1-1 now.
I think that ship is sailed.
Well, he's got another 2 maps to mock you over. So with that said, do you think so?
I'm going to go with my boy Jacob. Like full-on patriotism here. I'm going with a Renegades win.
Well, Renegades win. I think the Renegades have it, as long as they don't fall asleep at the wheel, of course. That overtime could have taken the wind out of them. Either way, we're going to go ahead and bring in the commentators now. Moses and that guy Harry, I think is his name is over there. It's just Harry. Either way, take it away, fellas.
It's just Harry. And Pimp, we're going to make fun of you no matter what. No matter what happens. It's always going to be there. Yes, we're going to go into the second map between Renegades and Luminosity. Going to be a banger, I think.
Yeah, I mean, Cobble's always a good one for Renegades with me. I think that they're a very good team on this map. I always love watching them play it. It seems like there are a few teams that I think kind of at like this tier, I guess you would say, that struggle with how to play this map. I think they very much have its number. I've always enjoyed watching them play it. So I'm excited to see. I mean, NAF going to leave a bit of a hole, I think, for them to try and fill now with Jacob. That's going to be the trickiest part, I'd imagine.
Yeah, I mean, I know Renegades at a certain time during their lifespan as a team has had like some really cool nades and set tactics and everything on this map. Be interesting to see if that's still there, if it's faded away. I think the the toughest part for this map for newer teams is that it's another one of those maps where you can be so safe on the T side. You don't necessarily have to be too aggressive because you can sit back and you can do your executes from far away with relative safety of being picked off. So sometimes you can get really stuck in one kind of way of playing this map instead of kind of changing things up. Either way, enough theoretical talk. Renegades on the T side with their Glocks and their smokes and their flashbangs and their Molotov and their decoy. And this is a big, big stack to have in these halls, or are they going to get lured into it? They've spotted out one, so stage one going well for Luminosity. Good trade. They know there's one more at the end of halls, but I don't think they realize that Yell is boosted up quite yet. He has been very, very patient. There's the peek. Great scout, but the CZ overwhelms. Cello is going to be forced back as well. That smoke needs to come out quick.
And Nifty does get rid of him. JKS can drop PKL in the meantime. Yell's still here, but does get caught off guard by Ustillo. The blink of an eye, it's all on Neck as that lone rotator coming in from B starts to make his way around. Okay, nice shot onto JKS. Gonna go ahead and put him in a 1v2. Bomb still yet to be picked up. I think they had the boost to grab it. They have got that on their backs. And they're gonna go for the rotation into B. Neckers though, he's planned ahead. He's already here.
Oh, God bless it all. This one hurts. You can see it coming like a wrecking ball. Like Miley Cyrus. Neck is in the chicken coop. Gonna ruin some days here. Plant's gonna go down. There's the peak. Nekis has a big grin on his face. Great shot and a follow-up as well. Oh, the heroics. Oh, the humanity. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, he read that perfectly, had their number throughout. It was a gamble, though. I mean, if he'd gone for that rotation and the bomb goes down on A, he's left kind of feeling...
He loses, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, it was a high risk, high reward, and it most certainly pays off for him. Luminosity gotta be winning out the pistol. Now looking to try and take this next round as well. This Renegades should just be buying pistols as they can buy up in this next round. It's going to be a fast B play, I'd imagine. They start to head over here early on. 3 SMGs in play for Luminosity and a chance to make money in this round.
Well, at the very least, with a bomb going down, they can get the AK-47s in the next round, but Neck is completely outplays them. That's very cool stuff. Either way, it's going to be PKL as the first point of contact when they do eventually come down drop. There's the pop flash, and there's one. Bonus money galore. He does get traded off. Showtime's here to fill in the gap, and Ozza jumps over. So Luminosity should essentially know where everyone from Renegades is at this point. Nifty trying to make his way. They're going to come out balcony, but actually now they're just stuck. They've taken a little too long. Yell's going to love this. Narrow corridor, no armor, and a UMP. There's a couple nice kills.
Yeah, but that's the easy streak for Luminosity gone already. The buy comes in now for Renegades. Nifty going to be taking the hit so that he can get the extra utility. JKS just debating what he wants to do. Will be grabbing himself the rifle, so he's got one smoke with him. 4 smokes, 5 flashbangs, and a Molotov up on Nifty. That's what they've got to work with. Already, flash is going down over towards mid. Yell tries peeking out over here at long. Showtime's there to try and back him up. Showtime playing a bit of an off angle while Yell up here as well. They walk into the slaughter. How Showtime goes down. Yell. Ammo becomes a bit of a concern here. He's backed into a corner. And Nifty does manage to pick him up. In the meantime, look at Azza. He's all the way up ramp. PKL, okay, gonna be allowed to get by.
Those blasted flowers. There's the kill from Alza. I mean, great read of the situation, though. 2 players for Luminosity out towards long. His teammates are fighting both of them. He knows, like, there's likely not going to be a third person at this A bomb site. You just don't have 3 people here at that juncture in the game. Oh, great boost over, though, and Nekas finds another one. Continues his good work from Cash. Still a ways to go. There's still a man disadvantaged, but a chance that is slowly dwindling as Jacob comes in with this lurk from the B bomb site. Any moment now, he should pounce and be able to find an easy kill onto Cello. And there it is. Nekas is the only one remaining, and he's got no chance to fall back now. Swings out, finds Nifty in the open. He's going to go for it. He's got a kit. He'd have to hit a couple more nice shots, but it's not going to happen. Alza shuts him down. First round on the board for Renegades.
Still, we saw a couple players from Luminosity not elect to buy up in the previous. They tried to go for that bonus round. Now the buy can come back in. PKL is going to be a little bit limited in terms of what he can do. He does have armor and a CZ. And that's it for him. And actually, no one has head armor here for Luminosity. That Galil's still going to be devastating up on Nifty. Yell's down in mid, peeking it with the AWP. And he's actually going to pay for that with his life. That's an AWP for Nifty. Down in mid, he will take that all day long. Showtime. Going to try and take a position down in Matrix to hold this one off. Nifty just darts in. Off the AWP. Nekas, the aggression down through long, going to get rid of Jacob. So we are into a 4-on-4. And on the back of this, they're going to try their hand out through middle. They haven't cleared the angle, though, in Showtime. He's going to get smoked off.
They have no one going long as well from the T side, so Showtime, a couple nice shots can really solidify his position and set up a 2-front defense, but no, he misses it all. He misses everything. That allows Ustill to come up, not expecting a second player there. Alza goes down as well. Cello did burn down to 30 HP, but they know where both of them are now. No nades, no utility for Renegades to flush them out, but they've got plenty of time to sweat them out. Over a minute. Pop flash doesn't work. And all of a sudden, Nifty is in a 1-on-2 against stacked opponents. What is the play here? Oh, here's the jump down. Here's the footsteps. There's the peek. Oh no, the missed shot. He had the opportunity. He could have won it and a follow-up as well. He does get the 3rd shot. Now a 1-on-1. Neck is inside the bomb site. Wrapping around is Nifty, and there it is, over the top, but Nekas gives it up. That was a great play. That was a great innovation from Nekas in the 1-on-1. The shadow, Nifty doesn't spot it. Working his way around still, somehow avoiding each other for so long. This clutch from Nifty could give Renegades a great start in this half, but Nekas is outpositioning him again. That is a great round, a very, very long-lasting clutch, and Nekas keeps his nerve.
Neck is up 8-1 right now. It's him and Cello who held down the fort there. Neck is just looking fantastic. That is going to be the round to get away with Luminosity. The reset comes in for Renegades. It's pistols once again for them here as they go for the eco. I mean, yeah, Nekas' positioning in that round was just fantastic. Out-positioned him not once but twice to secure that clutch. Now Neck is going to try his hand at the aggression down from long. This time he gets punished. He is going to go down. Nade should finish off Ustill. He does manage to get away. So that's a rifle up for Azza.
What a hero play. The kill, salvage the rifle, run all the way back, pass it off to a teammate, avoid the nade. That's great.
Yeah, but with no armor, aim punch still going to play into this. I'd love to see Nifty be throwing. There you go, going to get given the CZ. Has a little bit more to work with. That shot from Yell will be missed. They're allowed to cross that into the middle. The peek comes in from Showtime. He somehow goes there and takes himself 4 as they go running on in. The stars align. It's JKS on his own along. Does get rid of Yell. Now everyone's rotated in, and JKS with only 17 HP. Showtime's coming around on the flank, but Cello picks it up. And Luminosity will steamroll ahead onto a 4th round.
Must be nice for Showtime. This is just, they just walk right into his crosshair. Yeah. That 2nd and 3rd kill is just swinging wide trying to find it, and they just get taken down. So very nice for him. That's a lot of bonus money to have built up there. Renegade's going to have to sit out another round as well. Still on just P250, 1 Glock, bunch of CZs. They basically only have 1 flashbang. So they've invested in some armor on a couple players as well. So they want some element of danger to this, but not a whole lot for them to actually turn the round. They'd have to get very, very clean opening kills and able to swarm around the bomb site. Still very far back and passive, though.
not going to go down aggressively over at long. We've seen Luminosity a big fan of taking the aggression on the long angle. In the meantime, he still goes into drop, and he will get dropped as PKL finds Yelp. Going to try and find some success, but he's missing. 4-on-4 as Renegades go charging in towards this A bomb site. Yell has had to fall back down the ramp. That's support from Showtime. The bomb plant will come in here for Renegades.
What a weird round this is turning out to be so far. Yell's given up a lot of advantages. Had to smoke off door himself. He's got his teammates coming to back him up, but this is going to be a very awkward retake from, you know, a height disadvantage. They're on the lower ground here.
Yeah, I mean, look at that route that Cello's having to take. It's going to be effectively 3 versus 4 till he arrives, and Asa, he's able to get one before Showtime manages to get the trade. Now Cello has arrived, so the numbers are evened out once again. But time's taken away from him here. It's very low, in fact. Showtime going to burn out JKS. Nifty's up close. That's an AWP dropped, and Nifty takes that all day long on the defuse. Is going to be Showtime, and he just manages to get it. Luminosity in with a 5th. But they were sweating there towards the end, you can tell.
Yeah, and that's about the only thing they could have done. They sent all the bodies, smart decision, out towards long A, and they're just able to run up along the fence. That's the last position Renegades expected that retake to come from, so they weren't really all that set up. They only had one player over there. He was in a one-and-done position with the CZ. So really good call from Luminosity, but it was costly. They had to rebuy a lot here, and they actually go into a double op setup as well. So Renegades now, with their first full buy in a few rounds, see what they can bring to the table. Nifty's got that AWP, and Nekis is very confident in his challenge. Molotov to force some players out, but I don't think he can get in a position quick enough to punish that. Ustilo was able to get away before Nekis was scoped up.
Yeah, for Renegades now, they've got Jacob in position to deny his aggression down from long. There are 3 players considering coming his way. Cello, the first man in on the peak, spots Jacob out. Jacob falls prey to Nekis with the AWP. Man advantage taken here, and now in a desperate attempt to try and claw something back, Nifty falls down in mid. JKS is able to trade. 2 players down in drop, and Azza gonna get boosted round, but PKL finds the frag. Make that 2, as now it's JKS left 1v4. Tries to bait out the shot from Yell, but nerves of steel on the man. Wins a 6th round for Luminosity.
This is looking very, very good for Luminosity, and without even a plant, Renegades, they're going to go for another buy. It's going to be shoddy in a couple areas. CZ is bought up, so is a Galil. Great hold from PKL. That boost doesn't work out whatsoever. And the prediction shot allowing Ustilo to walk right back into it. So despite that success, not a whole lot of money built up in the bank of Luminosity. Yell going to go for another opening pick, but he doesn't want to stick around too long as he sees the trajectory, but Molotov forces Nifty back. It seemed like Nifty was just trying to make some kind of a fake, some kind of a distraction over towards A. He's forced back, at least for the moment. Some decent chip damage from Luminosity onto the Renegades. Nifty down to 79, JKS at 66. Here comes map control in towards drop zone as 2 players come down. The AWP rings true already, and PKL's in such a tough spot to deal with. Great kill from Cello. It's going to lure him right in. Does get caught with a nade in his hand, but this should be a double, and it is. Jacob's the only one left, and Neck is with the AWP, still alive, so there's not even safety inside the bomb site. Jacob can try and work his way around. He's gone unspotted. We might be able to find Yell here, depending on the timing. Wes Yell's, that's already happened. He's already kind of aware of the possibility, but the timing's not right. That's going to be a free kill. Get over to the A bomb site. You've got yourself a plant.
Yeah, Showtime almost gets there in the nick of time, but Jacob beats him to it. Now he's going to clutch this out 1v2, the latest edition of Renegades. Doesn't get it done. Showtime gets revenge for the frag earlier on. And that will be a 7th round now for Luminosity. It's a very dominant CT side. And I mean, you know, if we kind of look back, I don't think Cbble was historically a very good map for Luminosity. And it's one that, you know, they haven't even played that much heading into this year. I mean, there haven't been many games, right? But right now, they are looking good. This is Renegade's most played map. last year. And one that, you know, I thought they were very good on, yet right now, I mean, everything's been the Luminosity show.
It's always tough to tell, though, with Renegades. I mean, considering they had the period where NAF came in, they had that period as Nifty started to improve, and now they have Jacob. So they've gone through some changes in different personnel over the past, you know, over the course of that year of where Cbble was being played a lot. So perhaps missing something. I know that's a big part of, you know, what Jacob and Vendetta talked about on the desk was, you know, missing NAF. We've seen how much of a big piece he is. He's already given Team Liquid their first trophy in CSGO after, what, 3 or 4 years. So obviously a player that's brought a lot over from his time in Optic. Showtime's going to feel some pressure and just fall back immediately. Drop the smoke in the choke point, slow things down. Nade is out and some spam to follow up, and JKS eats it. Eats all of it. 21 HP left on him.
That's not the start you want. Showtime going to get boosted up, and I mean, this is a great angle to catch them off guard, especially if you're someone who can keep an eye on long for you. Yell, he's been good at that. Be holding down the fort. Showtime just lies in wait. That's all he has to do. You can already see PKL getting a bit antsy down in connector. Dancing with this idea of rotating in towards A. Does have a very quick rotation at least, and a lot of that comes from the information gained from Cello. He doesn't hear anything down at B. Might be nice as he smokes come in. I imagine you'll see Neckers very quickly go for the rotations as they don't hear anything. Push comes in. Showtime will get discovered. Yell gets the collateral. 2 players down at long. Now going to go back in with a third. Okay, he's making this interesting. PKL does go down. But now we've got Yell. A bit of a savior in this round at 4 Luminosity. He's on 3 and he's hungering for more. Dances around the corner. Going to drop down as is there. Yell's incredibly quick. That's 4 frags for the man. And Luminosity, they are going to steamroll ahead into an 8th round. Yell is on fire up in A.
I mean, Luminosity's on fire. Renegades has no answer to any of this. Obviously, the double ops have just been, you know, the bane of Renegades' T side at the moment, but still just no response whatsoever. This is a whole different Luminosity, different than what we saw in Cash. Obviously feeling comfortable here on Cbble. The double is a nice cherry on top, but this shot is great. Some of the follow-ups as well, obviously, when he drops down. Really nicely done. But, I mean, you can just see it's so tough right now for Renegades to actually gain ground, gain map control, gain control of the bomb sites without taking too much damage to these AWPs. They're just on point at the moment. Even Neck is coming in with his own op from the B bomb site to find that last one onto Jacob. And it's going to be back to the CZs for Renegades as the losing bonus has built up. They still just can't continue to buy without the results.
Yeah, I'm kind of struggling to think what Renegades should be doing in this scenario. I mean, Jason, when we look at it, they haven't really had too much success anywhere. You know, I mean, everywhere they've kind of tried to push the boat out. Luminosity have always had an answer. They've always been quick. They take the aggression down long, for example, inside of B. That gets them so much information, and Renegades have been unable to punish that.
Here's the wild thing is, despite the lead by Luminosity and this good stretch they've had, the money is not built up all that well for the defense. So, I mean, Renegades is still in that zone where, you know, 1 win is going to force a rather weak buy out of Luminosity, and 2 wins in a row and you've reset them. So there's an easy way to launch pad yourself back into this game, in theory. Now you just kind of have to figure out how to get a win, right? The idea behind it is easy. PKL again with his dirty off angle. There's going to be a kill. He's going to swing out wide, find another one. Coming through the smoke is also going to get nothing done. Only Cello has fallen. Neckers just needs to hide. You do not want to have to rebuy the armor. I just talked about the economy. Stay alive. Let your teammates do the dirty work. And there's Showtime. 9-1 now.
Yeah, I mean, the buyers are going to come back in for Renegades here. This for PKL was very nice. They do lose 1 man in the site, but he's the one who puts a stop to that push. So now, AWP up for Nifty. Renegades, they are desperate to find a way back into this game. That last round there was good for Luminosity. They only lose 1 player. You know, you mentioned that economy. That was their first round in a while. It's actually started to kind of build that up.
Oh, look at the confidence now as well. They're feeling it at the moment. Cello's got a cheeky play trying to peer over the smoke, but it's Neckers who's going to open things up with that AWP towards the B platform. They haven't even really been able to challenge this a whole lot. They've been going drop mostly when they want to attack B. And Neckers has been giving himself, you know, giving Renegades the opportunity to find him a couple times. No better than there, but he goes right back at it. Jacob's got to be scratching his head saying, why does he go back for the peek? It certainly catches him off guard. It's a 4-on-3 advantage for the Luminosity side.
Now, thankfully, JKS has been able to get one to Cello down in mid. That's giving them a foot in the door. But now they have to try and wedge that door wide open. Over here at long, Yell, he's caused them so many problems. This time, he's given them an opportunity. 3 versus 3. JKS has himself the AWP to try and play with. Not the usual name we think of when it comes to AWPing on this team, but he looks to try and make some magic happen anyway. Rotation going to come in from Showtime. PKL starting to make his way in the connector, can rotate in nice and swiftly. 23 seconds, that clock going to be the real test here for Renegades. Showtime only has to buy a little bit of time. That's the bomb drop, that's time bought. The trade has to come through now, or else time will run out. JKS gets one, but Showtime, he's putting the nail in the coffin here. JKS 1v2, it's not meant to be. And he just manages to get away with the AWP on his back. That's a 10th round for Luminosity. And for Renegades, I mean, it was looking so promising, but that hold from Showtime was stellar. Yeah,
it really was. And at some point, I mean, at this stage in the game, if you're Renegades, you just feel like, you know, it doesn't matter how good of a round we have or whatever position we're in, someone on Luminosity is going to step up and shut us down. They are able to salvage the AWP and pass it over to Nifty. Likewise, one AWP is salvaged for Luminosity. They have to rebuy the other one, but no matter. There's Yell just going for a blind shot into the smoke, and at this point, Renegades has got to be digging deep into the playbook for something that might work. 2 players watching for aggression towards B and drop on this T side. 3 players aggressively trying to take control of A-holes behind this smoke. Another boost over the top, and they're going to find something. Actually, it's Nifty who's going to find him, and trying to get away. He's going to find the second as well. Surely, 2 fortunate shots, 2 nice shots from Nifty, 2 opening picks from him is going to give Renegades their 2nd round.
Yeah, it looks like Luminosity already committed to the save here. Their economy is something you've bought up a hell of a lot. For a team with a 10-1 lead, they do not have a lot of money. And things get made that much worse as Jacob drops out Cello. It's PKL and Neckers to go ahead and try and save. And actually, PKL pushing up. What's the risk of going down here to Renegades players looking at exit from the site? Guess nowhere is that safe, though. Jacob and Azza are ensuring that fact. Ooh, Neckers spots Jacob. Jacob doesn't manage to catch him, though, in the corner of his eye. Will just start to fall back. That's a 2nd round for Renegades, and heavy damage done to the Luminosity economy. That's fantastic for the boys. As now they look to try and chain together a couple more rounds. It was this shot that kick-started the whole thing. Yell couldn't see through the smoke, and oh, I didn't. That's insane from Nifty.
Yeah, that follow-up's quite nice, isn't it? I mean, it's great that he's been watching for that boost as well. That's really good stuff from Nifty. Good awareness. Well, as I said, 1-round win for Renegades, and they've got Luminosity with their backs against the wall in terms of the money. 1 more win here, and they can springboard this into 5 rounds in the first half, which would be phenomenal considering we were just sitting at 10-1 just a moment ago. So Renegades put themselves in a good position to come back. And they only have to deal with 1 AWP this time around. Neck is on the M4. Yell in these halls. They are going right at him, which I guess could be worrying to a certain degree. Nifty trying to bait out a shot. All alone with the AWP taking over mid, or at least testing the waters. Is pretty ballsy. Look at this push over towards B. Oh, this is great. Luminosity. Can they make this work? Yell misses the timing with that flashbang, and they're both going to get caught. They're both going to get caught in the open. The smoke delays them. And Neckers gets caught on the rotation. Another boost coming in. This is very fortunate for timing for Renegades. That 1 kill forcing a rotation right into the waiting arms of Renegades in drop zone.
Oh, but this is very bad. Cello's in such a great spot to shut this down. And here's the players rotating in, and Cello waiting for Nifty to come across. This is fantastic. The rotation's already coming in, and Cello, he's blending right in with them.
Oh, no.
Just walking on in. Cello gets 2, wants to make it 3, and he will. That's the bomb dropped. PKL's gone down. Yell's there to go ahead and pick up Azza. And this round is out the window for Renegades. It's all on JKS. And with 17 seconds left, Cello, just what a fantastic man. JKS has to try and get it done. 10 seconds and a dream. Rushing up the platform. Surely there's no way to make this happen. Does drop Yell, but Cello wins it by running down the clock. And I mean, that was fantastic from him.
That was beautiful from Cello. What a heroic effort. It hurts me to watch because you just feel bad for the poor guys. But Cello, I mean, just great play all around. Great call from Luminosity. Get aggressive towards B. They find a good pocket. Renegades lose track of watching for that push. And then obviously the discipline, the patience, the risk-taking. I mean, that's essentially the only play that could have turned that round in the favor of Luminosity at that point. They were down 3-5 in terms of player count. So really cool stuff. Pretty good. Neck is peering up towards B. Not going to see anyone down the hallway. And the thing is, I mean, it's late in the half, so the psychological warfare is going to have, I guess, minimal impact in this sense. But, I mean, that kind of a play from Cello is really going to put Renegades on notice. If you're one of the guys watching the flank or just watching for a push, it's gonna cause you to stick around for an extra, 2-3 seconds before you kind of rotate to come to the team. It's gonna make you second guess that kind of push because the last time you did, you missed something, obviously.
Yeah, it's getting in the heads of Renegades. And that might be how Luminosity win this half out. Cello on the platform, going to be sent back. Yeah, was able to open up, able to find JKS down in mid. That now leaves the remaining players over here towards B. With a tall order, Neck is... Oh, Azza. Azza is a nade out, has to be careful. We get the information, there are players here. 4 players for Luminosity stacked up as well. It's going to be an even fight as they head in towards this site. Holds close, there's a gap in the smoke that he looks to try and exploit. Azza's snuck through. PKL spots it, he's going to go in after him. Comes in through the back line. Azza's gone down, the trade's there from Nifty. Jake able to go out and get one more, leaves it into a 3-on-3. Yelling with a lengthy rotate, but Showtime doing the damage. It's all on Nifty. 1v3 will be required once again. Time going to be the bane of their existence here. As he goes to the bomb plant, Yell can just peek out from long and shut this whole thing down. That's Luminosity in with a 12th round. And, I mean, they are looking fantastic on this CT side.
I mean, Renegades has been so beat up in this half that it seems like all the players kind of have the yips. Do you know what the yips is? Do you have that in the UK?
I don't, no. What's the yips?
It's like a lack of confidence to make the move. Like they're just like, no one wants to attack the bomb site. They have the smokes down, they have the execution. Everyone's kind of walking, trying to find like some freebie sneak kill. No one's actually attacking the site. So, I mean, everyone who's making a play is from the Luminosity side. It's, Luminosity guys pushing through a smoke to find a kill. You need someone on this T side to be the initiator to actually get towards the site. And if you're looking at this team and the roles they kind of have, you would say it's guys like Ustilo and Azza, who would be like the two that I would think of to be the aggressors and try and open things up. But at the moment, it's just not happening. A product, perhaps, of the shellacking they're taking. Neck is going to fall back. Cello hiding in the chicken coop. There's one kill. He's going to spray down one. Can't control it all that well. And he does eventually get traded, but Yell coming through the smoke with the AWP makes another play. It's down into a 2-on-3, but two players are so depleted in terms of HP on the Renegade side.
PKL stuck all the way up through short. Jacob peeks over the top. Pays for that with his life. It's all on Ustilo. 1 versus 2. Holds it on the fountain. Starts to peek round. Spots the first. Gonna take the fight with Showtime. Knows that PKL's close and Ustilo's gonna get the job done. Renegades will be in with a 3rd round at the end on the back of heroics from Ustilo there in the 1v2. Unfortunately, that might be too little too late. It has bought them some time, though, crucially.
It does feel too little, but I mean, also just combined with the scoreline, it's the fact, it's the way it's looked. No one from Renegade seems really that switch into this game. It all started with this. It was a 3-on-1 pistol round. And Nekiz clutches it out with a clever play, a really nice rotation over towards the B bomb site, and it was all Luminosity from there for a very long time. The double up setup was a nightmare. Everything going their way outside of a couple, I mean, maybe 1 or 2 rounds throughout the half for Renegades. But either way, dominant opening for Luminosity in the second map.
Yeah, I mean, dominating, I think that's being kind, Jason. They have slaughtered Renegades thus far. And I mean, now moving into the T side, they can set the pace. You know, they can decide how quickly these rounds get played out, and they can take the fight to Renegades. It is going to be tricky, but a comeback still possible here. I mean, it all kind of relies on this pistol round, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's the starting point.
Yeah,
that's the first step of many steps that will need to be taken by Renegades to come back into this matchup. Not sure if they have it in them. We'll see. They are going to be on that CT side. What can Luminosity bring to the table for offense? That is the question. All armor for the defense. Some utility bought up on Luminosity. Smoke Molotov, smoke flash. 4 players towards this B bomb site, and it's showtime towards long A. Just toying with Nifty, and another peek goes through, and the Glock rings true. So, early advantage for LG.
On platform, goes ahead and takes himself 2. Gets caught off guard in the reload. Will be even 3-on-3. The bombs drop though, and everyone from Renegades has rotated round to lock down this B bomb site. There's still 1:20 left. There's still time for Luminosity to play with if they don't want to commit to this. Now they're going to get the bomb. JKS holding the angle. They do go ahead and pick it up. Now they start to make their way into the site, and he's still out. I think he spotted the boost come in. No, he didn't. Showtime finds the first. JKS going to be there with the trade straight away, though. Keeps things even. He's going to have to go ahead and duck up on a platform. Grabs the bomb. PKL's tagged very low, though. Might want to try and get this flash out while he still can.
Ooh, this could be good. Pop flash over once he gets up. Where does it come through? And actually, JKS is looking for that exactly. So the flash is going to do nothing. And Renegades survive towards the end of that 3-on-3. 2 of the players left for Luminosity were the guys with no armor, so tough to get aggressive with all that aim punch. Nice recovery from Renegades. Great round from Jacob. Those 2 kills on B platform really, really allowed his team to stay in that round. That's huge. I thought when Nifty went down, it was pretty much all gone for sure.
And I mean, that's the lifeline that Renegades so desperately needed. Now, can they outlast this force buy from Luminosity? That's the next test before they get 1 round for free. It's going to be 2 players over here towards drop down. 3 lying in wait over at long for Luminosity. Nifty and JKS, they're the 2 up on A. Tasked for trying to hold back the oncoming tide of Luminosity players. First point of contact going to be Azza over here towards drop, in beneath the window. Time ticking away, waiting for the rest of the guys at long to get into position. PKL gonna start to peek around. Nifty spots him, gets the information. Lining up the instant reset is ready to go to delay this push from Luminosity. Now Yellow and Cello go for the drop.
It's really, really slow pace from LG, considering they only have, what, 1 smoke and flashbang left, but here it comes. Nifty's going to hold the line with the help of Azza and JKS. Actually, Azza got 1 towards drop. Trade's coming in, but... Ooh, actually, now it's getting quite nice. I was going to say too little, too late. Still a long way to go to win the round, but economic damage is always good.
Yeah, Nifty going to drop him in the end. But that is damage done. Only 2 players surviving. Renegades going to be in a bit of an awkward spot now. As I think they lost 2 rifles in that. Sorry, 1 rifle rather.
Yeah, I mean it's not necessarily like what you're losing. It's just, I mean, even the armor is just expensive, isn't it? So yeah, that's rough. This is going to be a round where Renegades, you can see they've reinvested into some SMGs. They have to make up for some of those losses. See if it works.
And I mean, they're going to leave Nifty alone to hold off mid. Az has been boosted up. This is a chance to make some of that money back from the previous round. You can hear all the players running around.
And it's almost like you might as well have at least 1 person with one of these SMGs be like hyper aggressive, like almost like Fur and likes to do. You know, send him forward, he gets a kill, and then just keep sending him forward. Have him just hold W, and they're all doing it as a team now. So, yeah, not losing anyone. And all the kills go to the SMGs, and they can keep a decent amount of these if they want. So it'll be interesting to see what Renegades decides to do.
Yeah, buy going to come in from Luminosity, but as you pointed out, Renegades going to elect to buy the AWP on Nifty, but that's it. None of these SMGs going to get upgraded. They're looking to try and take a bonus round here. Well, for Luminosity, Lots of utility across the board. Yell going to be forsaking the firepower in favor of a little bit more in terms of that utility. 3 players aggressing over here towards long. 2 waiting over by drop. Right now it's Nifty. All in the angle here at long. He looks to be the first point of contact. As the AWP out. Flash going to get thrown in by Yell. Sindri going to force Neckers forward. Has no one there to trade, and that's perfect for Nifty. He'll take that all day long. Man advantage picked up for Renegades. Nifty going to re-peek into it, misses the shot. On to Showtime, and that's his call to retreat. Gets away with the man advantage. Jello going to go ahead and make his way out of drop down. Has Azza to worry about. By the window. Look at that aggression down for the long as well. Giving out Luminosity a taste of their own medicine. That's Ustillo. Getting all the information in the world.
It's a very weird setup towards this B bomb site because they have 2 SMGs here. They have to be close up. See how this plays out. Ustillo, unsuspecting position. PKL trades it off. And Jacob is next, and PKL played that in the first half really, really well. Had big impact for Luminosity. This time it's Jacob who shuts him down in that spot, and save call comes out. Keep the AKs alive, try again into the next round. Luminosity just get whittled down as they try and make their attack. That play from Neckers, I mean, you kind of like the idea. The Molotov comes out with the timing where it splits Neckers off, and if you're going to make that play, I mean, you should have a flashbang in that position anyways to force the opper back, but I mean, definitely if you're going to try and push through that smoke, or that Molotov. I think he paused to wait for one, but it just didn't realize how exposed he was entirely. Either way, 7th now for Renegades.
I mean, this is where, at least, I'm feeling this way, Jason. Don't know if you are, but this is where you start to feel maybe that comeback is possible. You know, they're starting to get some economy behind them. They've got money. It was a bonus round in the previous that they win out. And now 4 players on rifles along with the AWP. The 4 spy going to be coming in here from Luminosity. Okay, so they're still definitely in the driving seat in this round in terms of the firepower, in terms of the utility. It's looking good for them. 4 players once again over here towards B, putting a lot of faith in Nifty down in middle.
I gotta rely on PKL and Showtime to find an opening for him. You want one of these AKs to do it. It's slow-paced round. As Luminosity's waiting out some of these smokes. There's actually none left. Over a minute remaining. There's no smokes. There's 2 Molotovs, which is nice, but what they've got played out right now is the last they'll have. So a lot of time for these AKs to go to work. You have to know that Nifty's going to have that op towards the A bomb site, so head over towards B, see if you can win some of these duels. And nothing being offered up from Renegades, you can see. I mean, PKL's peering down in towards drop. They want someone to come fight them, but it's just not happening quite yet. So Showtime with an AK is going to come towards B platform. PKL with the other one going to come down drop, so you've got good weapons in both locations. And now it's just time to bait the pistols. Cello going to jump the corner. Oh, that's a sick shot. Jacob alive on the stairwell. He's got to win this fight against Showtime and not able to do it. It's swinging in Luminosity's favor. And even though they don't have any utility left, they have 1 flashbang. They can get this bomb planted.
Yeah, Nifty going to get flashed off the cross. Showtime gets the bomb down, and now it's Nifty and JKS to try and retake. This is no easy feat. Might just elect to try and save. Going to see if Nifty can find anything, but JKS already starts to fall back. Nifty kind of dancing with death there down in drop. Does go for the hasty retreat. Back into the warm embrace of JKS.
Good call as well. He's got that expensive weapon. I thought that scope would kind of trigger Luminosity into pouncing, but I think it did the opposite. It just kind of told them, no, it looks like they're actually going for this retake. Let's slow things down. Let's not go crazy. So, I mean, also Luminosity, not a whole lot of money to kind of sacrifice these AKs, that M4 over to Renegades. Got to build up some money before you're able to do that. Either way, good win from Luminosity. Going to give them their 13th, so they're on the board in this second half. Renegades don't have a whole lot of mistakes to give up. I think, behind this spy, there's 1 more they're going to be able to do. And it'll be pretty shoddy, so got to be careful for Renegades.
Yeah, for Luminosity, looks like they might just try switching the pace up. They go ahead and send 4 players over here towards B. Nifty gets boosted up, and he's going to take the duel with the orb. It's risky, but it might pan out for them. Showtime going to start to make his way up. They've already made their way out on the platform in the meantime. Nathan gets caught off guard, and Nifty tries to make his way in through the back line. Showtime shuts him down, and that's the save call already in for Renegades. Luminosity will get themselves a 14th round. The boost up there comes back to punish Renegades in a very big way.
There's been a few slow, basic defaults out of Luminosity on this T side in a row, and it almost feels like that lulled Renegades to sleep or a false sense of security because just a timing explosion onto that B bomb site and none of Renegades was ready. No indication it was coming. Just very, very quick, get into the bomb site, great kills. Nifty boosted up with that AWP. He kind of felt his only play to make was flank behind him, and he gets caught by a lurker. Quite a very nice round put together by Luminosity there, if I do say so myself. Did you ever see the show American Gladiators? Did you hear about that show?
I mean, I know of it. I can't say I'm an avid watcher.
It's a phenomenal piece of television history. One of the greatest shows to come out of everything. But that round 2 rounds ago reminded me of it, where one of the players on Luminosity like jumped across the double doors at the B bomb site to get the plant behind the statue, and the op was there. Remind me of the Eliminator trial. Do you know which one that was? I
don't. But
it's when there's like one muscled, steroided up dude, you know, on the big pedestal in his spandex and his USA unitard. With like a tennis ball shooting gun, and he's trying to hit him as they go between the obstacles.
That sounds amazing.
Oh, it's an incredible show.
Why don't we have a version of that in Counter-Strike? Just have Stunner stood there.
Yeah.
Tennis ball and some nerds.
Full Marine uniform.
Yeah. Oh, now that I would watch. But
I actually don't think Stunner's a Marine. I might have just I don't know. I don't know how the military feels about those matters, being called a different service branch. We'll move along swiftly.
Yeah, the fear
Smoke
of
is up and drop. So yeah, don't want to mess with Stunner.
Yeah. The fear of getting beat up. It is going to be play out towards long. Nifty.
Ooh, that's awkward.
That's not where he wanted it to go.
No, not at all.
Yeah, he does manage to get away regardless. So Luminosity go easy on him. You can already see kind of this effect that this has had. They're going to start to peel back from mid. They leave Yell here with the AWP as he looks to try and spot something up towards A and perhaps throw a bit of a fake in. Keep them guessing up on this A bomb site. Deny those rotations as he holds the cross. In at 2 connector. PKL in the meantime going to be the man on the entry out onto platform. Nifty's flash back, but Ustilo has his back. Going to go ahead and double down. Nifty's in the sight with 1. Not going to get himself a second anytime soon as Showtime tries to answer back. He's going to get dropped. Ustilo in with 3. And now it is all on Yell. 1 versus 4. He's going to elect to save. And that will be an 8th round for Renegades.
Yes, it will. All on the back of Ustilo. Great shots. That's a tough angle to really get those kills. I mean, if he misses that first one, if the kill doesn't come out quick enough, he's likely traded. But you can see what kind of caught Renegades off the round before. Just like you, one simple flashbang over, Nifty gets blinded, provides that short 1 to 2 second opportunity for Luminosity to get a kill, to trade, to get an entrance, a foothold into that bomb site, and then Nifty has to deal with players surrounding him, coming from drop as well. So things can get dicey real quick. But the important thing for them is they've sustained. They have not gotten economically reset or destroyed or shattered in any way. There's a cool smoke over the tree branch. JKS is alone here. He's spotted Showtime as well, but can't win, and neither can Ustilo. That's really awkward. The A bomb site is essentially lost. So is Drop Zone. So is B. And Renegades, I don't even know really what happened, so I'm sure they know.
Yeah, I mean, I have so many questions. Like, how is Showtime here? Az is just kind of hiding it out in the hut. And Showtime going to go skirting on by. This is a match point for Luminosity. And Az looks to try and hold onto the AK. Now, thankfully, Showtime probably going to be calling this as clear, you'd imagine. But Neck seems like the kind of guy who will check anyway. He's going to start to make his way up. Az is in danger of being discovered here. There's still a good bit of time left on the bomb. They're very close. Too close for comfort, but no. Azza is a master of stealth. Remains undetected. Do you think someone would have come in this room by now?
He is like a very quiet person in real life as well, so this kind of makes sense. Ooh, he's giving it up, but plenty of time. That's actually, I mean, if you look at the money as well, the fact that he saves that is huge. Like, it allows him to pass one rifle over. If they lose that, then they have one less rifle into this round. So it's actually critical that he's able to save that to give them some kind of a chance. Well done from Azza. Heads up play. But at this stage in the game, if we're talking about how good it is that you saved one rifle, you're having a bad time, surely. 15-8. Luminosity have 7 chances to close this out in regulation. Last map was Cash, and that was a double OT thriller. Or was it single OT?
It was just the one overtime.
It was just one?
Yeah, you're getting ahead of yourself. That comes in the next matchup. Splice versus Complexity.
Huh.
Double OT map 1.
Listen, at this point, 1 overtime feels like 3 in reality.
Of course, 20 past 5 in the morning. You know, prime time here. And, well, for Renegades, they, I don't know, I'm trying to think of a funny joke to weave between the two, and I just can't, so breeze past it. Here we go, Luminosity down in mid.
They get
4
funnier
players.
if you announce them ahead of time.
But here's Nifty. Now he's not there. He's going to go down. Instead, holding mid, going to be JKS. Kind of flopped this in the previous round, but this time he has made it happen. Drops out Showtime, buys time for these rotations to come in, and Yell, he's very far behind over at Long. This is the pressure on right now for Cello and Neckers, and Neckers just going to start to peel back. Trying to rotate away. JKS goes for the peek. Keeps taking the fight, and it actually works out for him. Does get one more before he's going to get traded. 3 versus 3 now. That bombs rotates away. Over towards B. Him and PKL looking to try and seize control of this site, while Yell keeps the aggression up at Long. That's Azza dropped, and that's going to keep Ustillo here, meaning Jacob.
That's so smart from Luminosity, because those kills open up a lot of space for Yell, and then when you get an op there with the kind of the safety of those angles, he has about a minute to find a pick, and you also have Renegades who need information, so it's just a recipe for disaster. There's JKM being the aggressor, finding PKL. Hasn't seen the bomb yet. He's going to swing out wide. Cello's waiting for this, and he spotted him now, and there's the swing out, the pre-fire, and he's got the kills. It's all down to Yell. There's not a whole lot of time left for him to make these plays. Oh, there he comes back. It's a one-on-one. 20 seconds left. Where does Jacob move to? He's going to get aggressive. Yell's never going to expect this, but oh, he runs out of bullets. It could have been there. He did react in time and just didn't have enough in the tank. It's Heartbreak Central here on Cbble. The crowd goes wild.
Oh, it's just a man being broken live on this season already, day 1. But here we go. Luminosity going to try and kick things off nice and fast in towards B. Jacob's got no idea, but neither do they. They go running right by him. They all line up for Showtime. So he takes 2. Nifty still pinned into a corner here. That Molotov going to really heat things up for him. Oh, everywhere is death. The floor is quite literally lava, and now it's JKS 1v3. Up behind the rock. It's going to start to peek on in. Neckers is tagged low. Peeks over the top. Neckers going to go down. Spots out PKL, but the peek comes out from Cello, and that's Luminosity to close this one out.
Yes, it is. Map 2 ends earlier than Map 1 did, and obviously a really nice performance out of Luminosity, especially in that opening half. The double up setup was dirty. No response to it from Renegades. Really cool. So they split.
Yeah, no, Luminosity, they managed to close things out on Cbble, and very, very dominant, I think, performance from them there. Renegades struggled to keep up.
Yeah, I mean, I know we talked a little bit about before the match went live how cool Renegades has looked in this map historically. Obviously, with the addition of Jacob, and they've had Naf come in and out, and you have this kind of rise of Nifty. There's been a couple different things that have changed, and obviously they haven't carried that on from the past, which is which is fine. I don't think you can fault them for that whatsoever. But I think that's kind of enough blabbering out of us. We're here at the Xfinity analyst desk with the boys, the analyst boys, with Trace and Pimp and Vendetta. With
the boys. He said it with such conviction. I almost felt like he meant it. What do you guys
Part
think?
of the family.
Part of the family. My
I know
goodness.
he doesn't like me, so.
Yeah, you're right. I don't want to get too carried away. Either way, we do see Luminosity 16-9 over the Renegades in the second map of their series there. Obviously, Cobblestone, not as close as Cash was.
Yeah, I think that's what we expected. I expected at least, obviously, because I'm pretty good at that prediction game, right? But it's great to see Luminosity showing that potential that I thought we would see on Cash. Seems like Cash was just like some sort of misplay for them. You mentioned it in your analysis as well. Like they weren't playing well. They were doing a lot of mistakes, fundamentals where they weren't playing as they should be. So they probably should have closed out that map. Could have done better there. As for Cobble, as Jason said, you know, the double AVP setup, everything they did together worked as a unit. And as we spoke about, you know, coming in with JKM on Cobblestone is not the best map to come in with a new guy with no preparation whatsoever.
Yeah, no, it's definitely harder to play than Cash. Cash is much more free-flowing in that sense, so you can get away with doing, you know, a little bit more free-rolling if you're JKM and also if you're Renegades as a team. So that definitely comes into play. I think it's fair to say that Cobble is more of home turf for Luminosity as well. Just goes with any Brazilian team, really. That seems to be where they make their mark. I think wouldn't be too surprising if you see them actually having this as kind of their staple pick, as long as they're allowed to, at least for the regular season. And yeah, obviously not everything goes the way of Renegades either. They get off to a rocky start, losing a 1v3 in the pistol round, which is something that never should have happened, but they somehow managed to fumble that. And if you're already going into the map at a disadvantage because you're a rather new squad, and it's a far more difficult map to play on from a technical point of view, you're not doing yourself any favors. And obviously then you have crazy situations like the cello backstab, obviously extremely well played by him, but you know, that's just stars aligning for him and everything going the wrong way for Renegade. So it just kind of felt everything was going out of hand very early on in that first half.
Very good read on his or on his behalf, I should say, rather.
Absolutely.
And to give himself that sort of forward positioning and let him kind of, hey, guys, check it out. Look what I got going on over here. Check your radars out. Boom, right? Nonetheless, yeah, I mean, we talked a little bit about, you know, the Renegades could have a problem on their CT sides. It could be very chaotic. But ultimately, we didn't even get to see that. They didn't even really get a chance to lift that off the ground.
Nah, I mean, that's kudos to Luminosity for playing such a well CT side. Especially the double AVP setup seemed to work a lot, and well for that matter. There was some few problems and a few rounds where I think Renegades could have picked it up. You know, they could have started their bowl rolling, but they lost it. Especially one where Cello was stuck under Heaven together with a mate, where he got 2 kills. Yeah. It's like a 4 versus 2 that turned into a 2v2. Should have won that. Nifty missed a few AVP shots as well. It could have won that. There was lots of opportunity for Renegades to get back into the game. The problem was they didn't pick up the ball when they had it, and if you don't do that against a Luminosity team that are on paper, you know, I'd say a better team in terms of like team play and stuff like that, due to the fact that JKM is new to the team, then you're going to lose, and that's what happened.
Could have been a little chaos just given those parameters. I mean, new players to a roster, not that much time to prepare. But, you know, we looked at these two maps and we kind of said, hey, Renegades are going to be the favorite. At least that's how I remember his predictions going. What do you think? Not even close?
Not even close. It's just on point. 100% accurate. 100%
accurate. Look, we see Cash and Cobble. They split maps. We talked a little bit about Showtime really putting on a show of his own. I mean, I think he boistered some 108 ADR across that one map on just Cobblestone. So, for all intents and purposes, he's creating a frag video is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, he's playing great on Cobblestone. He's one of those players who's always been good on Cobblestone. When you look back to his former teams as well, when he played with Immortals, he did well. When he had his stand-in period for SK, the only map he actually did perform on was Cobblestone, and the rest was another story. You can ask what to say about that. But he's a great player on Cobblestone, and in general, the entire team on Luminosity just looked way stronger and way more composed in this game.
Yeah, no, that's definitely the case. You know, going into this map, we kind of talked about how, well, we pretty much mentioned everyone except for Showtime. You know, they would probably have the chance to step up, but it wasn't even necessary with how he was playing.
Not necessarily how he's playing, but we do have 2 more maps for you, ladies and gentlemen. So if you thought you were getting offline, that is simply not what's going to happen. We've got Splice and we've got Complexity over the course of 2 maps, and it's going to be our final 2 maps of the evening. So we'll be right back after this commercial break, so make sure you're here with us.